Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. A wealthy Palm Springs retiree vanished without a trace, and a team of conspirators accused of murdering him and stealing all of his assets.
It's the story that has captivated the Coachella Valley for the past 2 years. Tonight, KMIR 6 News takes you inside one of the most compelling and complex cases in Riverside County history in part 1 of Web of Greed. It has all the makings of a Hollywood movie. A con man known as the Dark Prince.
He once told a friend, "I am a predator."
The well-known lawyer.
You know the old saying that keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
The former client with a talent for technology.
There's been a lot of jumping to conclusions.
The bartender who couldn't keep a secret.
And just stabs Lambert.
An ex-Marine with a guilty conscience.
Every person in this scenario is a character.
The victim, a Palm Springs retiree whose body has never been found.
We weren't even sure it was him.
A web of deceit so complex, it took investigators almost a year to untangle.
Just peeling back the onion, layer after layer after layer.
There is no screenplay to this drama, and the ending has yet to be written.
You couldn't make this up.
On December 7, 2008, Cliff Lambert noticed something strange about his neighbor's property.
I noticed the gate was hanging open for a day and a half, and I thought, very unusual. So I went over, I was going to just knock on the door and make sure he was okay. And the minute I got there, not only was the gate totally open, but the door was ajar about a couple of inches. And I thought, this is very strange. I knocked and hollered, hello, hello, and no answer. And I was so tempted to go in, but I felt eerie about it. I didn't.
He quickly called the police to report his neighbor, Cliff Lambert, was missing.
Palm Springs police are asking for your help in locating a missing person, Cliff Lambert.
Little did he know his discovery would spark a murder investigation that would lead authorities hundreds of miles north to San Francisco, where prosecutors say a group of con men cooked up an elaborate scheme to murder 74-year-old Cliff Lambert and steal all of his assets. Deputy District Attorney Lisa DeMaria.
These men acted as vultures. As Cliff Lambert lay in a shallow grave, they picked him clean.
He probably did more than a lot of the movie stars.
Don and Sandy Howe met Cliff Lambert in the 1970s. Don worked as his contractor on one of Lambert's several Beverly Hills properties. They remember him as a flashy playboy who spent most of his time canoodling with celebrities.
One day he says, get in the car, I'm going to take you over to another job. So he gets me in the car, and he says, I said, where are we going? He's in his Rolls Royce, and he just takes me over to Rock Hudson.
Over time, Don and Sandy admit they lost touch with Lambert and were shocked to hear that their former client and friend was missing.
Reading about it, I didn't think he could ever been taken by anybody.
But Cliff was taken, and prosecutors say taken for everything, including his life. It all began here at his home on Camino Norte in Palm Springs, when in April of 2008, he met a young man on the internet named Daniel Garcia from San Francisco. According to prosecutors, Lambert and Garcia, both gay men, developed a friendly and flirty online relationship. Lambert even flew Garcia down to Palm Springs for a visit. But that visit and relationship ended early and badly. According to prosecutors, Garcia left Palm Springs, but he brought back an unusual souvenir, Cliff Lambert's banking information. The target was in place. Garcia told his close friend Kashaul Niroula about his lucrative discovery.
They had a relationship that centered largely around money.
Newspaper reporter Damian Bulwa followed the crimes connected to Kashaul Niroula for the San Francisco Chronicle.
I spoke to the man at a San Francisco college who brought him to the United States in 2002 as an exchange student, and he was poor in Kathmandu in Nepal, and he wanted everything. The police believed that he wanted to live a lavish lifestyle but not do things like work for it.
According to the San Francisco Police Department, 29-year-old Niroula is involved with several scams in Northern California. He is currently facing charges in 3 high-dollar crimes: each pocketing him hundreds of thousands and sometimes millions of dollars. Police called him the Dark Prince because in one of his scams, he claimed to be the Prince of Nepal.
He was always playing a game.
Cell phone records show on November 5th, 2008, he sent Daniel Garcia a text message. He was ready for his next payday.
That said, I'm on cloud 9. Let's make money and own the world.
Only this time, prosecutors say, the con involved murder. Well, coming up tomorrow in part 2 of the KMIR 6 News special report, Web of Greed, we walk you through the night prosecutors say Cliff Lambert was murdered and speak exclusively to 2 of the defendants currently on trial. Join us tomorrow right here on your KMIR 6 News at 11 for part 2 of Web of Greed.